gentlemen, to stage number 2, game number 2 in ECS Elite Championship Series. Today I've got a new face for you, my beautiful co-host Winter on the other side of the screen.
Hi guys, how are you doing?
Winter is not really that experienced just yet, but we'll get her up and going today on the ECS. Of course, we here we're lovely. Love to see new faces. We love to see good talent. So yeah, can't wait to see more of you, and well, can't wait to cast this today with you. To be honest. Oh, well, what are you feeling today? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I can't wait. I've been really excited for this. Like, I only found out a couple of hours ago that I was going to be doing this, so yeah, it's definitely on the nose. But let's see how it goes.
Fair enough. I mean, can be fun, right? Like it's a new game. I mean, I reckon you've been playing Siege for quite a while. How long have you been playing Siege for?
I've been playing Siege for probably about 2 or 3 months,
Okay.
and
Okay.
I'm just, right. It's just I'm quite a maths person, so I obviously learned all the maps, and I was playing with high rank people because
Okay.
my friends got me into the game, so
Yeah.
I learned the game quite fast. It's just the shooting bit that I need to learn now.
Well, that's fine. Well, we'll get you sorted. First game today is gonna be Paragon against PG Tips. If we can get the map bans up, that'd be fantastic. Of course, got 3 beautiful maps today because this being the playoff stage is gonna be a best of 3. 2 maps are gonna be played, and maybe 3. And the first map is going to be Cafe, pick of Paragon, and the second map is going to be Oregon, which you're going to be seeing later on today. After, of course, Cafe. Cafe, what do you expect to see in terms of bans or in terms of plays? Like anything you're looking forward to? And it seems like we've lost her, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, nope, she's back. Hello?
Yeah, sorry, I'm lagging out a bit though.
It's okay.
Hello.
Hi, can you hear me? Alright, well, she's gonna get that sorted. Let's talk a bit about
Wait,
Cafe.
can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear
I
you.
can, yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, hi?
Oh my gosh. Hi. Okay,
Well,
for cafe, I am hoping to see maybe a Cade ban, especially for the side of the attackers,
mm-hmm.
for bottom side to be able to hold the hatches. Um, Possibly on my ban, depends if they want to be holding bakery, or depends what kind of push they want to go for. But one thing that I really do want to see on cafe is the roam game. It is 3 floors, 3 quite big floors. There's a lot of places to hide in, a lot of places where you can get a nice flank down, which is something I'm really hoping to see, as well as vertical plays. I don't know about you, but that's one of my favorite things: vertical plays and the sneaky flanks where nobody knows that you're there.
Yeah, no, indeed. It's the best things ever. I mean, there's 3 stairs, well, 2.5 stairs, I guess, that you can use on this map to rotate your way around. Of course, with the top map, of the top side bar being a very standard pick, I think. Definitely the first pick for most teams. But what would the perfect top floor take from the attacker side be for you?
Oh, from the attacker side, we could obviously piano take is quite popular because you'll get the control of the to be able to hold the crosses, especially if you bring a nomad or a flank watch down, especially to hold down red stairs to make sure you don't get flanked as easily. But we could get some vertical play coming in from piano on the side of the defender, so definitely room cleaner is really good, but the split take maybe between piano and white could be nice. But then I've seen some teams drop skylight, and it depends if you want to turn it into a frag fest or not.
Indeed, yeah. No, Cafe. I think Cafe, the meta's kind of shifted a bit. Used to be very much more of a defender side of the map, especially when you look into like the Wamai that was in, and then of course the Wamai losing his shield. Definitely quite a big play for that. The Jaeger nerf being quite a big thing as well. The Jaeger nerf coming in, basically, well, not necessarily nullifying him, but it's very easy to burn through now, whereas you used to lob at least 6 pieces of utility, and now you can do it in 3 if you're quick enough to push after that. Means that holding pixel is not as easy as it was before, at least not as common, or you can't hold the spot as long as you used to. So top 4 has definitely shifted more towards attacker sided, especially with the correct bans for the attacker side. So yeah, I don't know. I'm really sure to see who's going to prevail here, the attacker or defender side of the map. Defender sides, sorry, on this map. But anything else you expect from Cafe you wanted to talk to me about?
Well, talking about the pixel and the Jaeger hold, you could also bring over mine. Like I said, it's good for holding bakery with obviously being able to catch grenades and throwing it somewhere else, or even the flashbangs or smokes, whatever the attackers have to throw, it can bring it away from the players holding their certain positions. Especially with Pixel, you could put, because obviously Wamai's like recharge and he gets more over time, so he could literally just be quite comfortably sat there and just keep throwing his discs out towards Minibar or possibly Cigar.
Yeah, indeed. I think that's a very good way to put that. Yeah. Well, as we're gonna wait for the lobby to fill up, we're waiting on one person to join just this now. So we're gonna talk a little bit more. What about Oregon? What are your thoughts about Oregon? Oregon, of course, a play that's or map, excuse me, that's been thoroughly played. We've seen a lot of plays there. We've seen enough teams play on there. Any strategies that you like to see, or any new refreshments you have in mind?
It's Oregon and club that I feel that was played all the time, and a little bit of cafe in there. But for Oregon specifically, the attic take. I think the attic take can be pretty strong. And on the side of the defenders, if you do have a player up in big tower, it can cause quite a lot of trouble for those attacking players if they don't drone it out properly and just having some sneaky roamer just sat in T3 and nobody drones them out, and then it's a quick, easy flank. But especially for bottom floor, I'd like to see more, other than a blue take, because I feel like I've seen quite a lot of blue rushes or blue and attic stake pushes. I want to see the utilization of maybe some of the hatches and some vertical play, but also some freezer and laundry possibly, because I don't feel that's used quite as often.
Mm-hmm. No, indeed, that's a good way to put that. Well, I honestly am just hoping to see how we can hopefully get into the map anytime soon here. I'm kind of killing time. Players are probably ready to play as well. I know you're ready to cast. Well, while we're here, tell us a little bit about yourself. Let's introduce yourself to the ECS community. Tell me a bit about yourself. Just go ahead.
Hi, I am winter or summer, like season works old or fall. But yeah, I am a school student. I'm studying computer science, and I've built my PC probably about 3 months ago, and then I started playing Siege, and that's how I got into the gaming community, I guess.
Okay, and
I
then you
got
decided
bored over
I want to
lockdown.
cast it.
Yeah, no, right. I was filling in for a friend because he couldn't cast the game that he was supposed to be casting, so I was like, oh, I'll do it. I don't know anything about it. I'll just waffle, and it actually wasn't that bad. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll do it again, and they actually invited me back. And it's basically how I got my first casting experience.
All right, pretty good. Well, and what about yourself? Like, I don't know, like, oh, you said you study, I guess. So I guess you've talked about yourself. How any other games you play other than Siege? Any?
I've actually downloaded Valorant probably about a few weeks ago, which is I'm trying to get better at that. One thing I really don't like about it is the fact you can't move. It's so hard. The movement is so different to Siege. Like when you get shot, you're kind of like frozen in place, which is really different mechanics you gotta get used to. And the leaning, the amount of times I've tried to lean in Valorant, and I just end up throwing my abilities at everyone. It's just not the best, but I'm getting better.
Okay. Oh, fair enough. Well, as we're going to continue rambling all about this map, we're still waiting on the final players to join the lobby. That's, I don't know, what else do you want to talk about, Winter? You can maybe fill up some more time.
How did you get into Siege then, or cast in Siege anyway?
Honestly, I've been playing the game for about like 5 years now, 5.5 years. I've been in this scene for a while. Yeah, I've been.
You're one of the OGs.
Yes, I am, and every time I go on with the skin, a couple of friends go, "Oh, I want that skin," and I should have been there when it was available. But yeah, no, I've been here for a while, and the last couple of months I've been watching esports a lot. Got me interested in casting. I am not good enough to be a player, not anywhere near good enough to be a player, so I decided, well, might as well use my voice to put my voice at least to good use. I've heard a couple of people say that my voice is suitable for casting, so well, here I am.
Yeah, you do have quite a commentator voice. It's quite calm. There's no like.
Thank you.
I don't know how to explain it. It's a commentator voice.
Okay.
There's no other way to put it.
I'll take that compliment, and I'll tell my dog that I got the compliment today, and I'll be very, very happy. He'll be very, very happy to hear that. Well, So you
Oh, talking about the old skins, the red silk came on sale. I think it was like a couple of weeks ago, and I'm so happy I was playing Siege to get that. It's so pretty on some of the guns, especially the F2 where it literally comes up the side of the gun, and it's just so pretty to play with.
yeah. No, Red Silk was one of those skins that one of all of my friends, I think, Anne wanted it, Stephen wanted it. Sorry, a couple of my friends wanted it, and
Yeah.
every time I would just equip it just to bully them, and then see just like, oh no, you can't do that anymore. So we're gonna sell them now for I think the same price as it was back then. It's a very
Yeah.
beautiful skin. Sakura flowers on the side. It's an absolutely gorgeous skin. But
Yeah,
yeah,
as you
no.
can tell with the flowers behind me, I do quite like Sakura flowers and blossom trees, so it was such a lovely addition to my skin collection.
Yeah,
But one thing is so weird, it's like obviously we're now playing Valorant, you can swap guns, so you can literally just give someone a pretty skin, which is like, oh, why can't you do that in Siege? But
true,
then
true.
obviously the operators with their chosen guns is just it will be too meta.
Yeah, no, indeed. I've been playing this game for a long time, so do know some things about the game, I guess. But other than that, I don't know. It's a fun game. I'm hooked to it. Absolutely addicted. Sometimes I want to pull my hair out of my head because of the game, because the game can really be frustrating. But it's a fun game. I'm still here. I'm still
Yeah,
playing.
that's how I was feeling in ranked earlier. I've been doing my placements. So I placed gold one last season. It's pretty. I think that's pretty good for my first season playing Siege. But I was playing my ranked. I've won five, I think it is. And lost four. So hopefully I can go like 6-4, but I'm not too sure. It's just the ranked games. It's the ranked games there. It's just
Yeah, I
some
agree.
people on it. Some people on it. It's just they're just insane.
Yeah, yeah, no, indeed. Yeah. Well, Well, let's. I just got word from our producer, our lovely, lovely producers. I could talk a bit about the people behind the scenes, Shiro and Cairo. Cairo, absolutely amazing observer. I'm gonna see some of that work later on. But we did get, yeah, at least I heard. I don't know if you heard it. You probably did. That the game's gonna be starting in 10 seconds. So, I'm ready to play. I'm ready to watch some Siege.
So am I. Let's go.
Oh, there it is. Beautiful cinematic. Oh, no, beautiful cinematic. We're in Cafe Dostoevsky. Paragon starting on attack and defensive side. Gonna be PG tips. Um, can you agree with me if I say that 4-2 would be the perfect split for PG tips and that's something I'm going to be working towards?
That is something that you definitely want, especially with the two offsides. And there is the Thatcher ban that we were all expecting on Cafe. Not too much of a surprise. But yeah, going in with a 4-2 for PG tips will be looking very promising. Along with Paragon, I think they're hoping to get maybe a 3-3. But obviously, they want to get to more as much as they can. But a 3-3 I would be happy with on the side of attack.
Okay.
And obviously 4-2 for the side of defense.
Interesting bands coming out here from Paragon. A Ying band coming out, a Thatcher ban, as predicted. Very, very common ban. Basically every map nowadays you're going to need a Thatcher ban. Ying and Valkyrie though, not so common. Valkyrie of course being very, very pesky with her little cams she can put in every single little nook and cranny into the map. If you don't bring an IQ, some of this can be really hard to spot. I've had some really difficult encounters sometimes with Valkyrie.
I think it's the ones on that they throw out Skylight are the
The
worst.
fourth band coming out from Paragon is going to be Wamai. It's going to be a it's going to be, oh, we're going back to us. It's going to have a quick rehost as apparently something was wrong with the something is wrong with the timer settings or the match settings, so we're going to be looking into that real quick. Well, going to be right back.
As I
Thatcher
said-
ban and plus the Ying ban. I'm just going to write this down on my little note here so we can keep that for future reference together with the Wamai ban. And I think it was, what's the
Valkyrie.
Thatcher, Ying,
Yeah.
Valk, and Wamai. How do you read those bans?
Valkyrie can be really useful, especially for top floor if you want to hold downstairs and maybe on to check for C4 kills, obviously to deny plant. But like I said with the Wamai is very useful as to hold pixels or when you're holding bakery downstairs. As with he doesn't have an endless supply. Obviously, there's a time limit, but he does have a renewable supply of sort of his discs, his ADSs to protect him as a shield player if they can get a shield in for him to hold. But I'm not too sure about the Ying ban. Maybe it's just the team don't like playing against Yings, particularly, but it'd be interesting to
Hmm.
see why they would ban Ying and what they're going to do that would be countered by a Ying.
I don't know. The Ying Ban, of course, I mean, she's really annoying with those flashes and two smoke grenades. She's a very powerful operator in herself. Like she's amazing. So yeah. Other than So yeah, no, I mean, I see why they banned her, but it's quite of an odd ban for sure. I've not seen many Ying bans in my past in my casting experience. Other than Thatcher ban being very very common. Wamai, I think Wamai is a bit of a read into Pixel. I didn't know if you said that just now. I just had my audio settings kind of configured wrong.
Oh,
And
sorry.
Bakery, of
Yeah,
course.
about the Pixel hold in Bakery or just Pixel upstairs with the Wamai being able to protect himself, kind of, if he does get a shield in there for him.
Yeah, indeed. So Wamai is a very, very strong ban. I think it's one of, if you're attacking first, definitely a no-brain ban, one that can definitely win you a lot of rounds. Jaeger is not anywhere near as potent as he was 2 seasons ago. So yeah, we've moved to a new season, so it's 2 seasons ago now. So yeah, Jaeger definitely not as potent as he at one point was, but still an amazing fragger. It's gone for 416C, an absolutely beast of a gun.
Yeah, it is something that you would want to look into if you want to go for a gun over the utility, especially with as the general consensus is an Ash Jaeger main with the top fragging capabilities. But I'm hoping to see maybe a bit more utility based play to get some quite nice kills.
Yeah, indeed. So, well, there's only four bands that we can talk about, to be honest. So, it's kind of running out of topics to talk about. Let's hope the lobby can get filled up yet again really quickly, as you're stalling a bit here. Best of three. You've got a lot of maps still to go. So, yeah. I mean, Cafe Dostoevsky. Let's hope it's going to be
And
something really beautiful. If you can
do
get
you
a word
think
from
we will be
production and
going
how
to a
far.
decider map?
Hmm.
And with Cafe Oregon, then Coast would be the decider. Do you think we will be reaching the coast for the decider map?
I honestly, you know, Caster's Curse, of course, is the thing, right? So if I say that,
Yes.
if I say my honest opinion that Paragon Eastwards are gonna sadly win 2-0, that's what I think is going to happen, and I don't know what fashion, but I do think Paragon have the advantage here. They're, to me, a more regimented team, a team that knows what they're doing, whereas PG Tips, to me, kind of I get a little bit of ranked vibes from them, although maybe they can prove me wrong today, who knows. So, yeah, to me, I see a 2-0 coming in for Paragon. Also depends on who starts on which side. So, yeah. No, I see Paragon taking this. Do you have any opinions on that? Would you like to see Coastlines today?
I don't know if I'd like to see Coastline as it's more of a frag fest. Coast is just I feel like in a higher level, Coast is more of an attacker sided map, which could be beneficial to whoever starts on the attack. But with Coast, I don't feel there's too much strategy involved. You kind of like, okay, I'm gonna push from here, and then it turns into a frag fest. But Oregon and Cafe, I feel like there's a bit more of strategy involved, and you can pull out your own strats, which obviously with Paragon being more of a comp team, I'm hoping to see some nice strats from them. But as you said, PG Tips does give a bit of ranked vibes, which could be easy for Paragon to like counter. So I'm not
Yeah,
excited to see how it'll go down.
indeed, I am very excited to see that as well. Now we are now going back into the game, which is very, very fun. Where the lobby's ready. We can finally talk about some actual siege and actual live gameplay instead of talking about
Yes.
hypothetical situations. Paragon on attack, PG Tips on defense. Round number one. What are you expecting?
Oh, okay. Round one. I am hoping to see PG Tips takes the first round, as it is defense is one of the strongest sites. If you play it well, I don't think it depends on this playset. Like you could possibly get away with a turtle on bomb site, but with third floor, I'm hoping to see a bit of a roam game, and Nomad being sixth pick actually to the Hibana, I was just about to say Nomad was a very good choice, as obviously this was probably one of her strongest maps. With obviously there's only 2 main staircases you can get up to top floor for that late round flank, but she is getting switched off for the Hibana.
Indeed, Hibana, second heart breacher. It's going to be quite big on this map, especially if you're second downstairs. I definitely think you need a heart breacher. On the top floor, you need a breacher for that piano wall. If you can't get the piano wall open and you want to push from the west side of the building, it's pretty much impossible to do so. It's gonna force you to that chokehold of the door and the two doors there in Cigar and up the top of Red stairs. It's just not something you want to push through. It's gonna be a hallway of death. The whole team's gonna die there. So definitely a good call, I guess, to bring a breacher. Ace, very standard. Sorry, it's a very standard thing to bring a breacher to cafe, top or downstairs. Just rambling about, to be honest. I'm just not really sure what I'm talking about just yet. I need to warm up a little bit. The round's starting.
I am quite liking. Oh, sorry. I am quite liking the mirror setup. It's quite a basic mirror setup for top floor, where on the freezer wall with the shotgun holes into piano, which is quite nice to be able to peek that and maybe get some nice free kills on those pushing maybe the pixel player, which we don't actually see any pixel player, but we do have a web on K2.
No, we don't have a pixel player. That's just because of the mirror windows. The mirror windows basically negate the player in pixel. They're keeping tabs on piano from cocktail balcony and top of white stairs, or planks, as some people would call it. If you see the mirror window looking all the way in there, they've opened the freezer wall, a wall that you typically want to breach as the attackers once you've gotten control of piano. So it's an interesting play, but a play that is, as you said, very common. It's a ranked strat that I've seen many times in my own rank experiences, and I'm not that high rank of a player. I'm plat 3, so of plat 2.
It's higher than me, so it's okay.
Well,
I think we do have 2 players downstairs, the Malusi and the Jaeger, possibly. Yeah, this is the roam game that I was talking about. But it does seem that the attackers are only going for a top floor take and not seem to be roam clearing. As I say that, they are 2 pushing into Cigar. Doesn't seem to be contested by anyone, as we have a player in bathroom and the mirror obviously on a window.
What we do see is that the Ash and the Nomad, or actually not the Nomad, the Ash is in top floor already. They're in Cigar, and they're just already inside and ready to push in. And as one more repels into the piano stage, and that's Zofia, they've gotten a lot of map control. With 1 minute and 10 seconds to work with, it's very good. But that mirror window is causing so much pressure, as Mila's going to feel it. He's going to get tagged a little bit there from that mirror window, but Dilfi's going to feel the full force of the Maestro Alda and gets killed by it. And Maestro playing in bathroom. This is a setup I haven't seen any time before. It's a very interesting setup. Instinct with quite the power position here, together with the mirror window, could prove like a big turning point here in this round.
Especially with the mag capacity of his gun, he will, and that is a pick from the Ash, I believe it was, onto the Jaeger. I think it was just sat underneath Skylight. But yeah, as I was saying, the Maestro has got a good position here, especially with the mag capacity of his gun. It'll be hard to push him out, I believe, on your own, unless you can pinch him. But then this Malusi has taken over the mirror window to protect that player.
So
And a lot of damage dealt onto the Ace.
Indeed, but the plant's going down by the Ace himself. Bailey just gets one in a rep.
Double
Instance
kill.
gets the impact kill. But the Maestro is still sitting in his position in bathroom, very much uncontested. The person trying to contest it gets shot down immediately. And Frenzy and Instinct down, and now it's just Kaz, and he gets killed by Frenzy at the top of White Stairs, and that's round number 1 for PG Tips. A very strong hold here from the defense.
That was a lovely impact grenade kill from the Maestro, I believe it was, that got the plant denial, which gave the defenders a bit more time to clean up, which they did, which is a lovely round going to PG Tips, probably one of the strongest sites. But they are going to Reading and Fireplace, which is quite an off site for this map. What do you think of this hold? Map rotation, sorry.
What do you mean in map rotation?
The fact that they've gone to Reading and Fireplace rather than to Kitchen.
Probably just trying to trying to get an offsite, right? It's normally your tertiary bomb site, so I think Paragon, these PG tips are banking on the fact that Paragon has to take 2 breachers, or at least 1, which is exactly what they're doing, as Milo and Dilly are both breacher, Ace and Hibana. Yet again, the same lineup, very much unchanged from last round, but they're expecting Paragon to expect a bottom floor hold. And that's what they're going to be starting about, and they have that 45-second timer where they can talk about all this kind of stuff, so they're expecting a kitchen hold, and that's not what they're doing, so I guess you get a little bit of a surprise effect. Usually on the higher tier teams, that surprise effect doesn't really work anymore, or when it does, is very, very minimal. They know how to bounce back from that, so I think Paragon have got this covered. It's not something that should be detrimental to their round. They still have a good chance of winning this.
Yeah, they are also bringing along 3 soft breaches, along with a sledge, which obviously would be great for bottom floor, but it is also great if they can get top floor control and open up verticals into library. But it does seem like they are doing quite a strong top floor hold with the mirror and the Gario shield as well. And the Pulse has someone on the scanner already and is away. And lucky, fortunately, doesn't get the wall bang into the window, but is aware of the players and where they are rappelling to.
Yeah, the Rappel's going to be a great information gatherer. He's going to see that there's 3 people on Rappel, and they know now, at least PG Tip knows what Paragon are kind of doing. They know that they should know, at least they're going for top for a hold, but the Pulse is going to be gone as Taps gets a clean kill onto him, and that side control actually already achieved, at least train control, but
and
Instinct
an
gets a refrag.
immediate refrag onto the Ash.
Milo does get some pre-fires in, but nothing really hitting the target just yet. So we are going to be looking at 1 minute 50 left on the board. Going to be 4v4. The Ash gone for the Pulse. I'd say that's a very good trade for the side of Paragon. The Ash did her job, got the entry kill onto Rep, and it's quite a big, valuable kill. So you think that the Pulse and basically all the information gathering, or most of it, is going to be gone now, as the heartbeat scanner is going to be scanning no more heartbeats, as the person holding it has no heartbeat. It's going to be really hard to utilize that. So the attackers now have free reign over top floor. Not as much looking on from the defenders, but Friends is going to get tagged down to a half HP. Not quite sure what has happened there. A bit of a kerfuffle. I think it's the person up here playing on top floor. Never mind, that's Tex roaming around and around. New Hatch could be big here at late round.
I might be able to get the pick onto his offside. He's playing pillars, but he is looking at the wrong pillar. But the player underneath might peek it just in time, and he does look to the wrong way as he gets picked off by the Zoff. And then there's a double kill coming in for the Zoff onto the side of Paragon. And the future is going to... I don't think there's going to be denial, and it...
Very, very convincing round here from Paragon as they win round number 2, and that's their first attacking round on the board. We've talked about a 4-2 split before, and we're basically talking about how Paragon would basically want to win 2 more rounds, at least 2 rounds in total. Do they want to really get a solid foothold and call their half successful? So they're 1 round down. They won 1 with, like I said, a very, very convincing win onto reading the hold from PG Tips. Not strong enough to withstand the dissection of Paragon. They kill them off 1 by 1, and, well, the end result is that they've won the round. Do you have anything you want to say about that, Winter?
I did have a bit of lag, as I did see it when it was a 3v1 with the plank going down, and I wasn't too quite sure what happened after that, but obviously the last player was picked off quite nice. And that is the round going to Paragon. So obviously, as we were talking, it was a 4-2 split, would be nice for PG Tips. With expecting to lose the offsites, which are on the 2nd floor, which they have. Hopefully they can hold kitchen a little bit better. It does seem like they bring in a few different operators with the Maestro and Mozzie, maybe for a bit more intel, as well as the Melusi. And especially since the plant has been trying to go down for last 2 rounds, I think they've decided to bring a smoke for that plant denial, as well as plant denial coming down if they do manage to get into sight, like the last 2 rounds that we've seen.
Indeed, Paragon are going to be looking, although with this defense, they now know, at least they should know by their droning, that PG Tips are now thoroughly on the bottom floor, and they should be sure of that, as 45 seconds of prep should tell you enough, at least of that, at the least. Paragon are making their way towards the building. I think PG Tips' hold, it's very interesting. A little bit of an extension. I think that was into bakery. Nope, not into bakery. Never mind. I'm absolutely just not seeing the right things. But Paragon going for a top floor clear. Just going to work their way down the building to make sure nobody's going to come and flank them in their rear later on into the round. A very common strategy to clear, as a Frenzy is going to prove that is going to be necessary this round. He's going to be playing on white stairs, killing the drones one by one if he's not snatching them or snick with his Mozzie Pest.
I don't think he actually has any multi-pests left to shoot at them, but hopefully he can catch one or two as they do rotate down to where he has put them. He does get another pick onto a drone, and I think someone is pushing him down onto white stairs.
Indeed, Kaz already pushed down to on red stairs, excuse me, as Taps is going to get a kill into Frenzy, and that's your roaming Mozzie off the board. A very good first pick here from Tabs. The Ash doing her work, getting the opening kills, doing her good job well as an anti-fragger, exactly what she's supposed to do. Now, PT Tips need to recover from that. It's not necessarily a bad thing that your Mozzie has died, and it's relatively early on, but he's wasted some time. He caused Paragon to have to roam clear the entire map, and that had led to at least 1 minute wasted. So 1 minute and 20 seconds remain, as PG Tips are holding on now with 4 people against the 5 from Paragon. And that quickly changes as Kaz gets one onto Instinct. And that's your Maestro off the board. A very big pick, as those Maestro cams will now no longer be utilized by him. It can't be rotated. The only thing they're good for is just intel. Very, very good push right now from Paragon. Strategically and very, very structurally clearing the building from top to down. And now they've got second floor control, meaning they're opening up the floor with that sledge, causing all these defenders to kind of panic. Well, not necessarily panic just yet, but they're going to do soon, as the floor is going to open up around them, and that's going to cause them to have to shuffle their placements. There's still one person playing in white, though, as the bakery push is coming out from Paragon, and Taps is already in there together with his teammates.
They have left the sledge upstairs to make a few more holes and to get maybe some of the vertical angles on the rotates when they're trying to push the players who are attacking from bakery. And that is a lovely pick from the ace onto the Malusi, who has already used her C4 trying to get the sledge, but unfortunately didn't get a pick. And there is, the plant is going down once again, and the Jaeger does get taken out, and that was a lovely quick cleanup to the end of the round.
Need a very quick ending there. The timer did hit red, but not all of it was utilized, as Paragon yet again just killed all of the defenders one by one. And it's just, they know what they're doing. They're clearing it from top to bottom, doing it the correct way, the way that I would like to see it. Getting the kill onto the Mozzie of Frenzy very early on in the round to cause them to feel more free, as that was the only real roamer on the side of PG Tips, the only real person standing in their way of converging onto site. That's exactly what they did after killing the Mozzie, as they entered bakery, got a couple of kills there, and the sledge was still just forcing everybody to dislocate themselves from their anchoring positions from up top by destroying that floor and creating lines of sight. It all ended up being Paragon taking the round with just one kill from PG Tips. So, how it's called at a very decisive round. 2-1 now for Paragon. So we're heading into round number 4.
And we are coming back to the top floor hold, which we did see PG Tips hold quite well. So hopefully they can bring it back up to a 2-2 and regain some sort of equality between the two rounds. Obviously, it is a big loss, the fact that they did lose downstairs. And they have lost 2 maps now on defense, and I'm not too sure if PG Tips are a defender preference in team, but hopefully they are bringing the same operators as we did see when they first visited topside. So hopefully the attackers have some more idea of what's going to be happening, and obviously I'm assuming the Maestro is going to be playing back in bathroom with the strong position he was holding with the mirror. And that is yet to be seen, as I'm not too sure where he's wandering off to. But no, he is going back into the bathroom. But it does look like we're doing a top take again.
Indeed, very standard
all the
here.
attackers just finding their way to the roof. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed, very, very standard operation, I think. There's standard procedure to clear from the top floor when you get those hatches open up the piano wall. But the Twitch drone, the thing that was not the Twitch drone, but
I think that was a sledge on Cocktail.
Yeah.
Yeah. the sledge on
Kills them.
Repel, which is very dangerous with putting that mirror there. I think if he put it more to, rather than on the edge of the reinforcement, a little bit to the right, he could have been able to get away with that. But obviously the attackers do know about that mirror and are taking it out of play immediately.
Yeah, very, very
Which will
strong
be
here.
useful
I
for them
mean,
pushing piano.
exactly. Bailey is going to be doing God's work here, I think, for Paragon. Getting rid of that mirror window is going to relieve a lot of pressure from the side of Cocktail onto Piano, causing them to just have a little bit more leeway, not having to worry about that mirror window. But the Maestro Cam still coming out. That rep on the mirror might want to be able to use his mirror window, but the mirror weapon, the Vector, very, very potent, takes the head off Dilly. That's your Nomad off. I hope she got to place down her Nomad charges, or else the flanks later on in the match were going to be quite tough on the side of Paragon. So as we're moving into the last half of the round, Taps is going to move his way into Piano, and yet again that mirror window being taken away causes him to have free reign over Piano.
Yeah, it does. The mirror window would have been so much use for them like it was the first round when they visited the site. But unfortunately it was taken out by Bailey, who did save quite a few lives with being able to take that out, with the Piano being quite uncontested from Frieza. But the Jaeger does seem to be aware of the player on Piano door, but doesn't seem to contest. He's just waiting for him to swing.
30 seconds remain now as Paragon are going to be making his way on the side, but Instinct's going to stop that from happening with his Alda as he gets the Ixie head off of Taps, and Tex follows up with another one, but Kaz wants to get the refract, keeping their team in this, forcing him into a 2v4, slightly more favorable position than a 2v5, but one where you do not want to see yourself in. 20 seconds, just a little bit more than that, remain, and they need to find 4 people or get the plant down, something looking more and more unlikely as the time goes on. But there goes Tex, but he gets instantly refragged by Instinct, and Frenzy follows up with one on Milo, and that's the end. And PG Tips with their second defensive round level it all up into 2-2. But if you look at the way the rounds have been going and the site rotation has been going, we could see Paragon winning more attacking rounds.
Yeah, that was a lovely hold from PG Tips, with obviously the player in Bathroom being very critical, but was taken out. Piano wall into Frieza and then jumping through the rotate onto the Jaeger in Bathroom, which obviously could have been prevented by the other mirror that was watching Piano, but obviously Bailey did help a lot with keeping the team in the game for a little bit longer by taking that mirror out, but it was a round 2 PG Tips who played that very well. And I think we're going to same site rotation as last time. We are going back to reading. They do have the pulse again with the C4. We do have 3 C4s being brought actually. I'm hoping maybe they'll get a kill from it this time, and the pulse maybe stay alive a little bit longer. That into the players. But we are going for quite a strong hold with all 3 ADSs in Cocktail actually. So obviously they are trying to hold top for a little bit longer than last time.
Yeah, indeed, and I think the pulse needs to stay alive for a little bit longer than last time as well. Does he really want to be used up to full potential? The only thing you really could see last time was that they were on Repel on the west side of the building, and he got instantly shut down by, I think that was the Zofia of Kaz last time around. So he'll be looking to extend his life this round, as well, he's very, very valuable, and I think very, very consequential and very necessary. It's a necessity on the side of PG Tips' defense, is that pulse of frenzy. So he needs to stay alive for longer, and I hope he'll be able to do that, or else I don't think it's going to be a round win for PG Tips. But we'll see what's going to happen. 2 minutes 30 remain, and the attackers are making their way towards the bomb, at least, excuse me, towards the building, and I think it's going to be yet another standard top to bottom clear.
Yeah, and especially with the player playing on the mining window, possibly looking for that kill again. But no, they are going to top floor, doing the top down clear. But they will be met with some resistance with the 2 players, I believe, is on top floor trying to hold. Oh no, I think it's just the mirror on top floor. Is it?
No, but I think it's the Maestro holding planks right now.
Maestro
is on the top floor.
Oh, and there's a player Cocktail. So maybe a bit more resistance on top floor, because that was given up pretty pretty quick and pretty soon by the side of defense after that pulse got taken off the board. But we are seeing 2 players already in bathroom.
With that being said, Rep finds 2 kills though. Taps and Milo both go down. The Alda rains yet more terror. Those 81 bullets, quite hard to miss. And you don't really have that time to spare. But Bailey's going to post some nades in. But the Jaeger, of course, has his own ADSs sitting there ready to catch the grenades. So he's going to get forced off of his location by the next grenade thrown in. And that stacks off the board. But the Maestro still playing upstairs. Could do huge damage. But not if he gets fined by Dilly. And that's the 3v3 now. 1 minute remaining. And the floor is going to be starting to get opened.
But we do still have the pulse in play, which is so thankful the fact that he might be able to relay some of that information. We don't have any C4s left on the board, so it's just an information game at the moment for the pulse. But the mirror is playing near white to watch any of the rotates down. And I believe Zoff is going to try and drone himself down white, possibly. But the mirror... And that is a... I thought we didn't... Oh, it must have been a pre-play C4 on the side of PG Tips, which does take out their Nomads. I'm not too sure what that pre-play C4 was.
It looked like he was just right there between behind the bomb site, just next to Bar, close to Shaiko. 20 seconds remain as Kaz are now going to be pushing onto the side together with Bailey. 2v3. 15 seconds remaining. The time is ticking. It's going to start hurting for them if they cannot start to get this plant down. Zofia is going to run to default plant spot as Bailey's going to cover. Fires on the Sparkins. But 2 more defenders stand in the way. And that's Frenzy getting 1 and Frenzy getting 2. And the Pulse going absolutely huge there at the end. Saving the round. And I think that was a very good defense from the side of PG Tips. Doing God's work there, I think, that Pulse. So, yeah, very, very well that he stayed alive for longer than last time, doing what he needs to do, and ending up in the PG Tips round win.
Yeah, that was a lovely cleanup on the side of Frenzy, with getting that double kill at the end to get the planter to stop planting and try and swing, but obviously did not work out, as he does pick up that nice cleanup on the end of that round to make it a 3-2, which is definitely favorable for PG Tips. As we were talking about, it'd be nice to get a 4-2 for the defensive side, but Paragon had played that pretty well. They did. I think it was the Pulse that came into play that obviously he didn't die as early on when they first visited the site, that he did stay alive a lot longer, so there was a lot more information being fed. And that pre-play C4, I was quite happy about that, but I think it was just lack of droning maybe, or I'm not too sure. But we are seeing the same operators being brought from either side for when we first visited this site. I'm not too sure what the defenders are going to do differently to be able to hold this. Maybe they're just betting on winning the gunfights, or they might be trying a different strat.
I'm not too sure either, as you're probably going to see the Muzzies going to go roaming yet again, going upstairs, trying to slow down that Paragon push that we've seen now for, well, 2 rounds have been successful, so they're still on the road and on course for that 4-2 split that they will be looking for in the least, so they've got that secured and in the bag. But a 3-3 split would mean that Paragon have a much better defensive half up and coming, so let's see if they can make that happen in this round, as that is it's going to be their objective right now. Their objective is going to be, let's get a 3-3 split. It's going to give them a good mental boost, a good morale boost as well, and all in all, it's going to help them to ultimately pull out the victory, if they are going to pull out the victory in this match. But yet again, a standard top floor take coming in from Paragon, as the hatches are going to get opened and they're going to start droning their way in, trying to gather the information on where all those defenders are located.
And I think that is the Nomad just staying on rappel to watch the jump out. And yeah, they are doing a nice top floor take, but it doesn't seem to be that contested. I think there's a Mozzie on second floor, just watching the rotate down white. We obviously have 3 C4s again on the side of PG Tips, so maybe we'll see another play C4. But then that is a lovely pick onto the Mozzie from the Zoff. I think it was killed from hatch.
It seems like it, yeah.
Very unfortunate for this side of PG Tips, as that is one of the C4s off the board.
Indeed, yeah. One of the C4s off the board. The Muzz is going to be gone. That's your top floor presence basically gone now. As you can see, the attackers have made their way down the second floor, and I think that's Texas on the second floor. The names are a bit weird this season. I think they might have changed that. We're seeing the names only popping up for the player on the floor below. It's kind of confusing to me. I just gotta get used to that. Might be a change, might be a bug, who knows. But Dilly making his way down on brown stairs. Going to be assuming full control over the bar side and the cocktail side. But that Maestro playing in coat check could prove big. If they do not spot him out and or drone him out, he could be a game changer.
Yeah, especially, as I said, with the loads of secret nice little hiding spots where players can hide for that unsuspecting kill and being able to swing players that are just unaware of their presence. Hopefully they do know that this is going to be, obviously the Sledge playing upstairs on his verticals, but I hope they do know that this is going to be a freezer side push. I think they've got Breach open, so they should be able to know that this is where they're pushing them from, and Breach is open. There is only 40 seconds left in the round. Paragon will definitely have to be getting ready for a execute quite soon, as there isn't a 5v4. They do have the man advantage, but they need to push onto side quite soon, as there is 25 seconds left. But the moot is they sitting with a shotgun. It would be quite hard to get through that door if they're just swinging with a gun. But I take back my words. There is a lovely pre-fire coming in from... Plant is going down from the ace. And now we're in a post-plant situation. The Ash does try and run, but now we do know where the last player is, and it's in 3v1. Can he clutch up? I really want to... He does have the possibilities, but he will meet the player in the long corridor on Wedding, sorry. And Kaz cleans up that round quite nicely.
Yeah, he did. The Tech's stuck in a very tough predicament. A 1v4, his teammates all around him fell into their graves, and it's up to the Jaeger, the lonesome Jaeger there in a 1v4 situation. Post-plant, Milo planted the bomb, and yeah, realistically it wasn't going to happen. He got one kill though, which was very, very nice. A very good shot coming in from the Jaeger, but honestly, the star of that round was Kaz. This is Zofia getting 2 entry kills after they breached Freezer. Absolutely amazing shots there from him, getting that double kill. Definitely switched the round up. So props to him for winning that, and a nice try to Tex, who tried to save the round in, like I said, a 1v4 situation, but it just wasn't going to happen. It's a very tough situation, so I don't blame him for not winning that, and I definitely can see why that happened, but it's a nice try, all the same. But now Paragon with the 3-3 split, cutting into their defensive round, defensive half, excuse me. I'm going to see them going to bar, quite a standard hole, but this Maestro cams, I have seen this before, and if my good friend Anne is watching, I think she might be proud that someone is using her Maestro cams. But I don't know if it's her Maestro cams, but it's the only place where I've seen this before, so... Oh my, interested to see this. So Paragon, defensive side, top floor, what do you want to see different from PG Tips' defense?
Well, we do have a Pixel player with the Goyo shield, so it could be nice to get maybe a 1 or 2 picks, and when they are pushing up to be able to shoot the Goyo shield to maybe stop the rotation quite as easily. But the Maestro cams, yes, I've seen that one before many times in ranked. It's not the best, especially when you have multiple angles to check, especially when you're trying to get rid of it, because it can be contested by if you've got a player playing in shop or just on Pixel, which is very hard to split your attention 3 ways, I believe. But it does look like the attackers are going for a second floor push through Hell's Door, but Instinct with the diffuser is going up straight to the roof.
Indeed, very, very dealing with these lines of sight. It's interesting, interesting seeing here what's going to happen. Dilly with he's getting the pre-shots off, but he's taking more damage than the enemies are. I don't know what's really happening here. He's trying to hold
made any damage onto the attackers. Yeah, he was holding the angle and didn't get any damage onto anyone below. But he does. Yeah, I think he does get that kill.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does finally get the kill. With a lot of damage dealt with him holding the hold. Maybe he was got a little bit distracted or hit into the bars a bit too much. But that is a nice kill onto the verticals to be able to stop the verticals being opened up as much. But there's still an Ash on the board, and that is Kaz getting the pick onto the Nomads.
Yeah, indeed. I think what really happened there was that I don't know what happened. PG Tips expected the Meister to get off the angle, but Dilly was not going to let that slide just as easily. But Kaz isn't going to let Frenzy slide into reading as easily either, as he gets the kill there, and the attacker is just not given permission to enter the bomb site just now. Not even below, as that was the whole strategy, right? With the Buck, they were trying to open up the bottom floor, and we can see that that did happen a lot. But no real benefit has been reaped from that. It's mostly gone the other way. The defenders have mostly peeked through those holes and gotten the kills onto the attackers below, and that has definitely, you could see that, you could say, I guess, that PGTF shot themselves in the foot with that. But I think it's an attempt to a strategy that isn't going to work, at least not just now. But it's now just instinct together with Tex that need to make it work. With 30 seconds remain, 4v2 situation, I don't see it happen, but well, what do you think?
Well, we have seen some fragging capabilities for a 2v4 as they both get some damage down. As I say, that Tech does get a lovely kill onto the Melusi. That was, I'm not too sure where she was. I think she was playing on a bar side, but it is looking more promising. It is a 2v3 with the Jaeger being quite low. Instinct is going to get pinched by the 3 players on that side, but downed, and then that is the final kill coming in from Milo onto, oh no, sorry, from Taps.
Yep, indeed, as Paragon is going to take that round, and we're now looking at 4-3 for Paragon. It's a lead that is slowly being made. Of course, Cafe being a more defensive sided map, at least with the bans that I've seen. At least the one my ban could have been big there on top floor, but not necessarily being reaped the benefits of, at least not by PG Tips. They haven't made use of that one my ban, as they didn't really push that side. They all died either downstairs or pushing from Cigar, and that ended up being their demise. Those peak holes, or those vertical holes made by the Buck and or the Maestro there at the end, I don't know what that was, but it just did not work. It just didn't work.
I think that round could have gone so much differently if that Maestro did get picked off and being stopped from peeking those vertical holes, as he did get, I believe, 2 kills onto the players in Library. I think the round could have gone so much differently if the last shots were managed to hit onto the Maestro. But unfortunately for the attacker side, that round goes to Paragon.
Looking
We're
here
actually
now
seeing
at this...
a... Sorry, go on.
Go on. No, go ahead.
We're actually seeing a Vigil and Bandit being played. I'm not too sure about the Vigil. It obviously is good for the roam game, but quite a selfish operator. But if he gets to waste the time on the top floor, first, third and second floor, it could be very useful. It just depends how he decides to play this. But then the Bandit being brought over Cade, especially since Cade isn't banned, you can hold hatches. But it does look like they've opened up Freezer Wall, and they're going for, as well as Bakery Wall, they're going for an extended hold, as well as a lot of second floor presence. So I'm quite interested into seeing how they in the perfect ideal strat.
Well, as you do see here, the attackers now making their way, droning their way down. PG Tips definitely need to get one round on the board, and this would be their time to do it. But Sparkins gets one of the taps with a headshot there. Sparkins has a lot of life with that Jaeger playing on white stairs. Quite a daring spot, quite a rat spot actually to sit underneath that window. But it's good on the Nomad to see what was happening there, as there is the Ash there coming to support her, coming down white now. So it's going to be in kitchen, so top floor control has been established together with second floor, which they're going to establish really soon. And I suppose, and it looks to be like a freezer side push for now.
Yeah, it looks like they've obviously got the control of top floor, but it does look like there's only one person on site. There are 3 playing close site. No one's going to be seen through these vertical holes, as there is only the Cade that was in. And that is the Cade's C4. Not Cade, I'm sorry. The Bandit C4 is...
Looking into
sorry,
this...
I think I cut out for a second there.
Yeah, you did. It's alright, you're back, Go on.
Okay. Yeah, the Nomad is hanging on to her life here with less than 25 health remaining, so it could be a bit risky for her, but she is going to be peeking those holes nonetheless.
Kaz with the very late reinforced of bar here. I think they've noticed that the PG tips are forming up for a freezer side take. Kaz does get down in sight though. I think no, that's outside the site as he is going to get down, but I don't think PG tips know of this as they haven't gone in to finish off that kill. So maybe he can be able to get picked up, but 30 seconds remain, and Dilly gets found by Tex, and it's virtually a 5v2. Paragon now need all of the manpower that they can get. Hopefully they can get Kaz up, but it doesn't seem likely. His friend is going to push through to smoke. A very daring task that he's taken upon himself, but it does work as he finds Milo. And it's now just Bailey in a 1v5 situation. The plant's going down, his teammates down.
I'm hoping he does find the downed player on his right, but he doesn't. And the C4 goes out to get Instinct, but Sparkins does get the down player on Kaz. And it is in a 1v2. He does have a triple kill. Is this possible for Bailey to get an ace? He is a good fragger for this side of Paragon. But will he be able to find the remainder 2 players? Which we do have one on Vish, which could possibly be a bit of an issue, but... And Bailey does not be able to get that player on site. It could have gone either way, as any way that he was going to be crossing. But unfortunately, he did get taken out by that player around just over the counter on his left, which was very unfortunate for Bailey. Could have seen a possible ace for him on the side of Paragon.
Indeed, could have seen an ace coming out from Bailey in a 1v5 clutch situation. Quite a tough one to be in. He got 3. He was so close to getting another one. He did not know of the person sitting in coffee, so he just vaulted over, and what was a free kill for that person. Ending off the round, I think the star of the show there has got to be the ace of Frenzy, just getting into that kill and smoke. I did not expect Milo to lose that gunfight. He should have gotten that, to be honest. He should have won that gunfight from up close and personal. The shotgun or SMG-11 should be able to tear through an Ash on point blank range. So I don't know what really happened there, but it was a good read from PG Tips. A good attack, good freezer side attack. As you're going to see Paragon now gearing up more freezer side hold, as we see there. The Vigil is going to be reinforcing the garage walls together with the freezer walls. And we're going to see just how they're going to adapt now as Kitchen for the 2nd time in a row. What do you think Paragon needs to change to be able to hold off a PT Tips attack?
It was the vertical play. The vertical play did come down into it. Obviously, not from the vertical holes, but it's obviously the pressure of the players playing above, and you have to watch out where you're running around in sight, especially with some scary sledge being above you. Quite well. It wasn't the best. They were left in a 1v, I think it was a 1v4, but obviously Bailey did get all of the kills that happened in that round. So hopefully he won't be left to get the frags by his teammates. But we're seeing the round start, and Taps does get a lovely kill onto Sparking, so it isn't just going to be a Bailey frag fest this round. And they are it does seem like they're doing a top-down take again with having hatches opened, and they are droning themselves in.
Of course, the top-down take being very, very standard as the Frenzy together with one more player there. I think that is the Sledge of Rep. I'm not quite sure. They're going to be inside already. And that's Tex on the Zofia. Excuse me. Going to be inside, establishing top floor control with 1 minute that's already been wasted on the side of Paragon. Quite unlucky here as we are looking, as they are looking to be able to swiftly attack onto site. This is too slow. They need to speed things up, and they need to gain at least sector floor control really, really quickly. Do they want to go for those vertical lines of sight? And I think I just messed up the team names. This is just PT Tips that is attacking. Excuse me. And those vertical holes are being made again. Excuse me, as the Sledge is going to use his sledgehammer and put it to good use and destroying that floor and creating those lines of sights. Could get another 1 or 2 picks here.
Yeah, especially with the Nomad being off the board, he will decide to flank. I believe the Vigil is still playing I'm not too sure where he's playing. I thought he was up in piano. Which he's done his job. He had wasted a minute of their time just trying to be droned out on top floor, which obviously it's down to less than 50 seconds now. They are going to have to make a execution quite soon, but they have got the man advantage and a lot of damage dealt between the vigil and the ace on bakery door. And then the sledge getting some damage as well from the vertical holes he's been making for himself.
Bailey getting killed there onto instinct. And he's going to follow up with another one, getting it down. Oh, that's his teammate down, but he's going to get found. And Frenzy, Tex, and Rep get all kills of their own. And now Paragon are in a man disadvantage. 20 seconds remain, and Milo and Kaz need to hold on for dear life. Kaz not on a lot of HP. He needs to watch out. Even those smoke grenades could kill him. Two people coming in from Bakery are going in for the plant. The Zofia whiffs her shots, but Kaz doesn't. So he gets 2 kills, and now all down to Rep. Walks into Kaz's hands through the red rotate, and that's Paragon. And thus Kaz especially getting that round, pulling it back into their favor, and ultimately winning it. Kaz going big with the triple kill, winning the round for Paragon, and now it's 5-4 for Paragon. 1 round closer towards match point we go. And, well, round number 10 upcoming is gonna see, he's gonna at least seal the deal. We're gonna see if we're gonna see, we're gonna at least see if we are going to see all 12 regulatory rounds played or not. But Paragon going to Bar Cocktail could prove different.
It was definitely a very nice play by Kaz with being able to get the 3 kill to end the round, and it was quite a nice clean out. But I'm quite concerned the fact that he went from a 5v4 all the way down to a 2v3, and it was lucky that Kaz did have his gun skill up top notch to be able to get those last 3 kills. I think it was the bakery hold that let them down with the down player in small. I think Taps tried to go and save him, but obviously was getting picked off by Bakery Door. Bit too many angles for him to worry about. But now we are going back to top site, which I believe is quite a pretty strong site for the side of Paragon. And hopefully they can get to their 6-4 lead, which will obviously be putting them onto match point.
Indeed, this top floor site was a site where Paragon, and especially that Maestro of Dilly, was just shooting through the floor. And ultimately, well, in the beginning, he couldn't really get a lot of damage off onto PT Tips, but at the end, I think he got 1 or 2 kills to the vertical holes. So we'll see if PT Tips are going to go for a similar attack strategy again, or if they're going to go for reading. But well, it does not seem to be just that case just yet. As actually, I don't see any of the attackers on my observer screen right now. Oh no, there they are on the west side of the map, northwest. It's probably going to be a standard top to bottom take. Gonna take the hatches, open up the hatches, maybe open up piano, as unlike PG Tips, Paragon are not bringing out the Mira, which is in play, because PG Tips did bring it out, but they are not choosing to not bring out the Mira this time around. But they're going to rely on the player, and that is the Jaeger of Taps playing in Pixel, to hold off piano and hold off the attackers from entering piano.
It does seem like PG Tips have actually learned from last round. Last time they visited this site with that Maestro getting that cheeky 2 kills. After a little bit of a whiff at the start, but he did manage to find 2 people from those vertical holes, which obviously puts Paragon at an amazing man advantage, but with a little bit of health taken off the Maestro. But that is the Goyo shield gone already from Frieza, which not too sure which player would have played that, but I'm not too sure what the Noma's trying to do. She's trying to go for a wallbang onto the player on Pixel, but he has backed off. And the shield is out, so you cannot even return. But it does seem to be a bit of a stalemate. We have players being moved around a little bit, but no damage taken on either team.
It's just a lot of utility burning coming in here now, as PG Tips are throwing in all of their utility, or most of it, to get that person off of a Pixel and is trying to shield. But what I don't think they do not know is that, well, Taps had another shield just in the bathroom ready to go. But that one seems to be taken care of right now and hasn't been taken care of. But he has decided to get off of it as the players are now dropping red and hopefully going to go for that piano breach, or else it's going to be really, really tough for them to push that. Piano control has, though, been established by the side of PG Tips, as we are going to see them moving into Cigar, trying to clear out those Meister cams now as their next step, their next ordeal they have to go through. And whoop, there goes the Ash Charge, and that's one of the Meister cams taken care of.
And Taps does get a lovely shot onto the ace. The Jaeger having the long angle from Cocktail onto Shaiko, I believe it was. But we did see a pre-placed C4 under New Hatch, but sadly it didn't get anyone. I don't even think it made any damage to anyone. It's quite a big miss. But they have recovered the diffuser that was dropped by the ace. And they've pushed up into bar. Ash has got a... Actually, no, Taps has got a kill onto the sledge. And it is in a 1v4 situation as obviously the player is down. But he is getting picked up. So it's going to turn into a 1v5 pretty soon. And then it is a flawless round going to Paragon. And that is Milo cleaning up quite nicely with a lovely headshot onto the PG Tips player.
Indeed, a very good cleanup there from the side of Paragon. PG Tips just got smothered. They tried to push on the site. They weren't allowed to. They got piano control pretty early. Well, not pretty early on, but they got piano control very stably at the end of the round there. But I think there were rotation holes from the side of Freezer that were looking into piano that basically caused them to way off of that. I don't know what happened on the side of PG Tips, but it all funneled in through that one doorway. What we do know now, though, is that Paragon is going to go into Reading Room Fireplace, and we are going to see the mirror being switched over for the mute. I think the mute's going to be very vital here, playing probably on top, creating some rotation holes, as I do want to see Paragon holding it from up top. We haven't seen them go to Reading just yet, so it's going to be the first time. And I think this is a very good time to bring it out, as PG Tips have not seen it yet, so this might be the time for Paragon to kind of pull a sneaky and win this round and ultimately win this map, and putting them one map closer towards winning the series and ultimately getting that spot in Stage 3.
Yeah, obviously with the mute playing top floor, I believe he's going to be putting up some mute jammers upstairs. But we do also have a Mozzie, which is going to be a denial of intel as well. So we have quite a lot of intel denial on the side of defense, which could be vital on the attack, which obviously they won't know where many of the operators are or what actual operators are if there was a sixth pick, which obviously is, but I'm not sure the attackers will find that out unless they do run into a mute jammer. But it does seem like we're going for obviously a upstairs hold, and the attackers do seem to be making their way up onto the roof on rappel.
Well, PG Tips are going to need to win 2 rounds in a row. They want to push this into overtime. A win for them in regulatory is not going to be happening anytime soon. So this is all onto them. It's their map to lose. Actually, it's Paragon's map to lose, actually. And PG Tips need to just go in there with full commitment, and they need to win these maps. Do they want to keep going? Next map's going to be Oregon, but that's something we're going to talk about later on. Probably after this map. But PG Tips, they're feeling the pressure. 2 rounds. Of course, they have a redo on the next map, but that's not something you really want to rely on. Paragon, they know what they need to do. It's one more round, and just one round that PG Tips have not seen this yet before from Paragon. I haven't seen their reading hole, at least not this game. So we're going to see how they're going to attack that, as it does seem to be no vertical control is going to be established by PG Tips just yet. Oh, but they are pushing down into trains, and they're very close to site. How do you read this, Winter?
I think they may be going for... Obviously, there's only one player in the sites, but there's a quick attack going down, as they do have quite a lot of control, as they are seeming to be on the side of white and trying to hold the long angles, as there's a lot of damage dealt to the Mozzie and a little bit onto the Zoff. Obviously, the Zoff has a little bit of a health advantage on the Mozzie now. Not too sure if they're going to be able to take the fight again. It does seem like they do have full mining and train control. So we do have a player downstairs, I think, waiting for that C4 and holding the vertical angles.
Indeed, Sparkins has got a kill on Dilly, and that's the first Paragon defender to hit the ground, and you're going to see PG Tips very well, good establishment of manpower control, as you're going to see them slowly pushing towards the site. They are trying to get rid of those mute jammers, I think, and they want to breach this wall here facing towards pillars, but it's not seeming to happen just yet. The mute is very, very vigilant and knows that those ash charges are coming through, but there you go, the mute jammer is gone, and now the breaching can happen, but it's very, very late. 20 seconds remain, and PG Tips need to make some movements here. Do they want to win this round? Bailey gets on the rep, and that's the first kill for Paragon on the board. Frenzy and Kaz, trade of kills of their own. We're down to a 3v3 as kills come out, and it's 2v2 now. 5 seconds remaining, and the defenders win as Taps and Bailey both get a kill. And that's map number 1 of Cafe going towards Paragon. Very, very convincing win on the side of Paragon. Honestly, what I expected, and it's honestly, it was a very good performance here. Very good showing from Paragon. Do you have anything to say about this performance? I'm sorry.
It was the execution at the end. It was down for a 3v3, down to a 2v2, and then it was a 1v2, and then Paragon did end up getting that last kill to be able to clutch up the round and clutch up the game, which is lovely to see for the side of Paragon. It's just, I think PG Tips wasn't quite ready for that execution at the end, but definitely gave up a good fight into a 1v2, but sadly they did lose the round and did lose the first map. So we will be going to Oregon next, I believe, and to see if Paragon will be able to flawless them with a 2-0, or if we will be going to see Coast.
Well, we can talk about that all we want, but first of all, I think it's wise that we're going to give ourselves a little break, give ourselves a little breather after that map of Cafe. We're going to go into a little break. I think it's going to be around 5 minutes, and after that, we're going to have Oregon for you, and let's see what that map has in store for us. And
Sorry, I think you cut out there at the end for me.
Let me think for a second now, catch my breath. Yeah, I gotta slow down, 'cause when you're near, everything that I planned just goes away. We said that we were gonna take it slow, move carefully and give it time to grow. We said that we were gonna wait, but I just want it right now. I just want it right now.
I don't want to jinx myself because obviously, if I say something, it's obviously going to go the complete opposite way. But I do feel that Paragon are going to come out with maybe a 4-2, a 5-1, maybe on the first half when they are on defense. But yeah, I'm hoping PG Tips might be a bit more comfortable with Oregon as it is a more played map. Maybe they weren't as comfortable as Cafe as Oregon, but hopefully they are be able to get a few more attacking rounds and defending rounds as obviously they will be switching halfway through. But yeah, I feel like Paragon are going to do quite well on Oregon from what I've seen of their gameplay on Cafe so far.
Indeed. So, I mean, moving into Oregon, yeah, as you said, sorry, I didn't really catch all of it. You were muted on my side. I'm very, very sorry for that. I accidentally
That's okay.
muted you. So, excuse me for that. But, yeah, Oregon, I'm sure you had a very, very detailed explanation of what you're about to see and know who do you think is going to win. So, I'm gonna move into now Oregon. Sorry, losing my train of thought. Let me just reset here real quick. I'm having some I'm just being a little bit of a noob right now. So let's reset. Let me calm down. I'm doing stupid stuff. So Oregon, what ban does he expect? I personally expect a Thatcher ban, as that is very, very common. Furthermore, a Cade ban maybe coming out from the defensive side. Oh no, no defensive ban, excuse me. So, what do you think on the ban side?
I would have thought that the attackers would be banning Cade rather than the defensive. The defense might be a bit more wanting to keep the Cade in, as they will be having to visit bottom floor, and obviously the hatches, as well as just the walls that are going to be needed to have that bit of wall denial on them. But I am hoping to see it. I'm not even hoping to see a Thatcher ban. It is quite obvious, and we're not actually going to get a Thatcher ban from the side of Paragon. We are getting another Ying ban, which maybe they really might just have something against Yings, as they did ban her on Cafe. I'm quite interested to see if PG Tips will ban Thatcher.
It probably will, right? Yep.
Yeah, and there is the default ban coming out for Thatcher.
Paragon, with their hatred against Ying. I don't know, but I guess you can say it's working, because they did win the last match, and maybe they're just really scared of light and really scared of flashbangs, and all their attackers melt, or defenders, excuse me, melt at the sight of a Ying, so maybe that's why they're banning him. But PG Tips with the Cade ban, as predicted as well. So, unto you the honors. Who do you think the last defensive ban will be?
I think Valkyrie can be quite powerful for this map, and we have seen Valkyrie ban on Cafe.
Indeed. Yep. That's going to be the Wamai coming out from Paragon. Interesting here. So, 4 bans, Ying, Thatcher, Cade, and Wamai. That means that the mirror is still in play, and that could be really big on the bottom floor hold in blue. You could put a mirror there to see if Paragon are going to take it out. Not sure quite yet, but the clash coming out of Kaz now, that can be one of 2 things. Either they're going to be really, really annoying with that clash, or they're going to 6-pick it off too. Maybe I want to see a mirror. I really want to see a mirror on Oregon. It's a very strong pick.
6-pick is being used, but onto a Malusi, not a mirror. But they are second floor. I think the only place for, not the only, especially the attackers are favouring a push. But we have got a Maestro on board, a Smoke for the plant denials and the shield, Bandit for wall denial, which can obviously be taken off by the Ashles off below, or even grenades from the Ayana. But it does look like there's a pretty basic setup with the ADS going in attic, along with the re-implementing 2 kids.
Indeed, Paragon setting it up for, as you said, a very default defense. I don't know what Kaz is doing, opening up the hatch, waiting on a Maestro to open up the hatch. And that he does.
It does give him a little bit of damage, as he is put down to about 75 health just to open a hatch. Not too sure if Kaz would be very happy about that.
I think he might just go over to Bailey and slap him over the head for that. It's very unnecessary damage indeed. But 2 minutes. Oh, sorry, excuse me. 2 minutes. Just the round starts. You're going to see the attackers making their way over towards the building. Paragon is still busy with their setup. At least Bailey is still making their default rotation onto white stairs. But yeah, Kaz playing downstairs could be big. He's going to go on to that a little bit of a flank game. One person on the flank, I think, is sufficient on this bomb site. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, although it might be taps downstairs as well.
I think 2 would be more ideal, as the site can get pretty clustered depending on what you wanted to hold, as we do see 2 players just sat in attic. And I believe that is the bandit charges off the wall, and it is. So Instinct is being able to open up Game's wall with his ace charges, getting a little bit of a peek hole, and a crouch hole to walk through. But I think he is aware of the player on attic door, just getting ready to swing possibly. But flank with a Zoff coming in through small tower, I believe, as I can't really see him on the map at the moment. But Frenzy does get taken out by the bandit as well. That's a double kill coming in for the side of Paragon, with Taps being able to take out the Nomads. Hopefully she was able to place some charges, but that is Tech with the flank, I believe, onto the defenders, being able to take out the smoke for that plant denial. I believe that was from Kid's window, actually. Angle fall onto the smoke.
Yeah, indeed, but they're watching Dilly here, just sitting in attic. Oh my god, the pre-fire coming in, almost taking the head off of Instinct. Very, very good pre-fire coming out from the bandit. And it's PG Tips with a man disadvantage, but a lot of time to work with. And that man disadvantage just got widened as Instinct, the ace, falls down to his demise. And Dilly with yet another pre-fire onto the breach gets the kill onto Rep. And now it's all down to Tex in a 1v4. A very similar situation to Cafe, where he was Malusi. Need to find 4 players of Paragon. Seems very unlikely, as he's going to encounter the Jaeger first in Closet. Those pillars are in the way of his line of sight. Bullet screen exchange, but Taps ultimately prevails, reigns supreme, as the Jaeger gets the kill, takes the head off of the ace, and that's round number 1 for Paragon. A very, very convincing first round here.
Very convincing, as it was left in a 4v1 for the side of PG Tips, which obviously would not be amazing as that player left alone. But I believe he was quite unlucky with that, unable to get that pick onto the player and walk in, as he did see his head, just the pillars, I think, that messed him up a little bit, which could have brought it down to 1v3. And I think there was around a minute left on the timer, so there was definitely an opportunity for him to be able to pull that back. But we are seeing a mirror played, but then the 6th pick onto the Malusi. I feel like Paragon are quite liking the Malusi setup. So we're taking the same operators, just going to a different site this time, and with the 6th pick being utilized. So the attackers are definitely going to be wary of that mirror as they're droning in. There wasn't a 6th pick onto anything like a Twitch, though, which I'm quite surprised at, especially for bottom floor. The mirror window can be very dangerous if you are pushing blue. But obviously they're not going to have to worry about this, as the 6th pick onto them, Lucy.
Indeed, and I think P2 Tips are going to be kind of mentally preparing for a mirror and to be staring them down from E-Box into Blue Bunker. Well, that's furthermore is going to be from the truth, as you're going to see a standard extend coming in from Milo. Smoke just being there, going to be pesky, holding off the attackers from pushing in. Throwing out his smoke canister is the perfect operator for delaying. I think him and Malusi could be the king and queen, I guess, of delaying people in general within this game. So yeah, it's a very standard hold here from Paragon. Nothing too extreme, nothing too weird coming out. So I'm very, very happy to see that they are not necessarily extending themselves or overextending themselves with weird strategies that we haven't seen before. Taps is going to take a little bit of a pot shot onto the player repelling onto T2. That's not ultimately not going to bring anything for Paragon and or PG Tips.
I think he just gave the player repelling a little bit of a fright, just to make sure he knew someone was there and that he wasn't completely safe to repel in, which obviously the attackers are going to be a little bit paranoid about that Roma, not knowing that he's already rotated back down to site. But as there is an arcade being brought, the hatch, I believe, will be open quite soon with the ace. And I'm not too sure where the ace is, actually.
Ace is going to be...
Ace seems to be going for a blue push.
Ooh.
And I think we do have the bandit on pillar with the extended hold, being able to peek all the way through onto the barrels.
And that's your tower pressure gun. It's going to be huge for the side of Paragon. It's going to be one person less to deal with, and Dilly's going to find yet another one through the peek hole there on E-Box. Taps wants to follow up, peeking it as well, together with Dilly just walking through and watching it. Taps does find the head of Tex. It's a 5v2. Dilly finds another one, and it's all up to instinct. It's going to be found by Dilly, and a flawless round from Paragon. 2-0 up now. Very, very fast and very, very convincing.
I feel like Taps was being left out a bit of the action when he was sat in kill box. He just wanted to get a kill, which he did find onto the players just sat around barrels. But obviously they did not need that mirror in kill box to be able to hold off the blue push. I feel like the shots from the bandit, I believe it was, onto the T2 window, did give a bit of fright, take all the way back to blue and just do a full blue push. But it was shut down quite quickly by Dilly on the little kill Taps peeking from kill box, which gives them a flawless round 4, round 2, which is very convincing on the side of Paragon so far.
Well, if you're looking into Paragon now, this is a tertiary bomb site, kitchen and dining, a site that, well, it has changed a lot since the Oregon rework. It's been now much more viable. Of a site that used to be very, very hard to defend is now turned into a site where you always just extend into bathroom, I think. It's kind of one of the standard extends, especially in competitive play. You extend into bathroom and then hold it from up top. Top floor control is very, very important here as an attacker. Do you want to get good control of the site? So I think that's what PG Tips are going to be going for first, is that top floor control, clearing out the roamers, and after that converging onto site and executing it at the end. Paragon looking for a clean sweep on their site rotations though. If they can get a 3-0, that's going to be massive, not just for them but also for their, not for just the round score, but also for their mental health and their mental take onto this game, as it's gonna tell them that, yeah, we're good enough to go through all 3 sites, and we're going back after that to a site that we've obviously already won before. So it do Paragon a lot of good to win this round as well. But PG Tips need to find one, because they are getting demotivated, I think, if they would lose this next one as well.
Yeah, especially going 3 down on attack, you would hope to at least win the offsite, which is what we've gone to now, which is a site that's not as commonly played or commonly seen by the defenders. But obviously, if they do get this clean sweep, I'm sure Paragon will be pretty happy with themselves. But we are seeing a few things like utility being taken out with the ass charges and just general utility. But we do have this Maestro playing in bathroom, which I do quite like, with the footholds to be able to peek on anyone who decides to come through the doors. But we do already have 3 players at top of small tower trying to open up the vertical holes, which could come in handy for a post plant if they manage to get one down and if they're able to hold from top site. But it does seem like in a stalemate. We're getting a lot of utility used, a lot of utility broken, but no damage being taken by either team. I think they're just setting up for a little bit of an execute.
One of the last Hibana pellets to be used as they're opening up the bathroom wall, pressuring Bailey as the Maestro there. Actually, never mind, it's Dilly, excuse me, as the Legion sitting in bathroom is going to be pressured off to his position. But he's going to stay there, and resilient as he is, going to keep on taking on the gunfights and killing the drones as the wall is going to get opened more and more. He's going to find at least 2 drones there, killing the drone economy of the side of PG Tits. So just 4 drones left. We're quite late into the round, so it's nothing too weird there. But Dilly hasn't died yet this game. We're going to see if that's going to change now as he does get flashed and stunned, and a lot of utilities being thrown in there. And he runs away quite smartly.
I think the defenders have realised that is a small tower push, as Frenzy does get a pick onto Dilly as he was a bit flashed. A lot of utility being thrown, but Bailey is now aware of the players in bathroom. Or showers, sorry. And hopefully you can get one on their rotate now into shower corridor. I think the Hibana is aware. Possibly a sneak from the Ash through the rotate, but everyone seems to be sat where they were. And Frenzy does get the double kill onto Bailey, and the plant is going down into me. Dining, sorry. But plant is denied. But it is a frag fest with Tex getting a double kill and Sparkins getting that last kill. And I'm sure the PG Tips are going to be very happy with themselves being able to pull this back to a 2-1 and not letting Paragon get their 3-site rotation, which obviously Paragon will be a bit gutted about, but it's not too much of a deal as they did win their 2 main sites.
If Paragon keep on this trend, they're going to be looking at a 4-2 split, which is, well, I guess the golden standard of splits on most maps. And that's going to be what they're going to be working towards. And the more is better, of course. If Paragon can get a 5-1 split, I think that's going to be huge for them. But let's work it step by step here. 4-2 is probably the most common split that you would see in competitive play. The split that you'd be working towards as a defender or the attacker inside in the match. As we now look into Paragon going up to Kids Dorms yet again. A site that they won very convincingly in the first half. Dilly going absolutely huge, getting, I think it was 3 kills sitting in attic, killing everybody that even dared come close to the attic breach. Oh, excuse me, the closet breach. He was an absolute madman that game. As Milo and Bailey still both have 0 kills. You can see that Dilly together with Taps have really been the people getting the kills. And Taps more the second round and Dilly the first round. So let's hope the rest of Paragon can also come alive. PG Tips, they might encounter something very, very hard if they keep trying this, and if they continue to use the same strategy they did in the first time around. I think they're gonna be looking up to a very tough round.
I'm interested in why Paragon are using this 6-pick back onto a Malusi, which has been brought every single round. This is the exact same line as they had first time they visited this site. But it did work out for them, but I'm not too sure what they're playing at with the 6-picks, if they're trying to psych out the attackers or if they're trying to make them think about something that is just not going to be there. As we do seem that it is going to be a master push with the stuff off games wall already. Bailey looking through his vertical holes, as he is quite good with that, as we did see the 2 kills from last game. Bit of a whiff at the start, not going to lie, but he did manage to get the 2 kills to clutch the round. And we do see the Maverick in attic. I think he just missed a little bit.
He's having some trouble with that.
I don't think he's too happy with that.
I don't think
but it is
I
enough
think
to
that's
get
even his fault.
No, I think that is a glitch actually.
Yeah, but
it does seem the stuff has been taken off attic wall, so they will be able to get the breach hopefully, but I think he's just going to Maverick a little crouch space to get through.
Yeah, indeed. I think that's what's going to be happening. You just have to work around the glitch as well. Glitches do happen in game. It is just a piece of code at the end of the day. And glitches do happen, especially after a new season. I mean, a lot of new stuff getting added. And it's only natural for there to be glitches. But Kaz wants to stop the Maverick and Sparkins, the Nomad, to pushing into attic, as he has a line of sight from below. And he's holding that from meeting. Very, very interesting line of sight. That is going to be very, very powerful. But Tap's going to be powerful as he kills the Zofia of Tex. And that's the first kill for Paragon yet again.
I think it's the impactful frags Paragon are getting at the start of the rounds, or not even just at the start of the rounds, the first frag, and it does tend to end in Paragon's favour from what we've seen so far. With a little bit of damage being dealt onto the Maverick. We do see Kaz pick up another kill onto Sparkins from that vertical hole. I'm not too sure what the attackers are thinking, as it is now a master push, but it is in a 5v1 with Bailey getting that double kill from the Maestro. So it is all down to instinct now on the Ash ace in Worgen. I'm not too sure if they know where he is, but it does seem like all the attackers are looking to him. The Lucy is now deciding to rotate back up, which I think the call has been made, but we'll get... I'm not too sure who got that, if it was the one in attic or in dorms. And it is the
kids,
player in dorms, yeah.
Very, yet again, Paragon with a very decisive round. Round where PG Tips just couldn't get through the defenses of Paragon. They couldn't pry through the walls and just the very solid defense. Every time they'd peek it, somebody from Paragon would win that gunfight, and that just ended up costing them, all falling one by one, starting with Tex on the Zofia. It's just PG Tips can't seem to deal with the firepower that Paragon is bringing. Now going down the laundry supply room and the same six-pick coming in, Kaz is just teasing the clash every single round, but we're not seeing it, and it's kind of sad to be
And
honest. I
he
would like
is
to see a
bringing
clash.
them Lucy. And it is the
Yes.
same lineup again for the bottom hold. I think the attackers have actually brought a Hibana this time, maybe to get hatches, as they are going for the bottom floor. Maybe they're going for more of a vertical push, like maybe dropping into kill box and coming down attic stairs, as they did kind of get slaughtered when they did decide to push blue, as all of them were just, 5 of them were just sat in blue bunker and were getting picked off by Bailey to get that 4k. I'm not Bailey, I'm sorry. Dilly. But Kaz is getting the hatches, which will be hopefully taken out by Hibana if they are deciding to make use of them. But we'll soon see, as the attackers have now been spawned in and they are starting their attack.
He's starting their attack. Paragon, yet again, another very default hold of the bottom floor. Extension into blue. Some players playing on tower, which is what you need. You don't want the attackers to get tower control, because that's going to put the player playing in pillar or E-box. It's going to put them in quite a tough spot if the attackers can get control of tower. But it's exactly what they're doing as they're pushing in. It seems to be quite a rush. It might be rushing down tower, but it's... Nope, they're not. They're pushing in. They're doing kind of a clear. They're now running into meeting, and the hatches are being opened. I don't know what they're doing, but they're uncontested. It's just walking up to second floor, or first floor, excuse me, and just opening up everything. They have full reign and full control. I don't know what Paragon is thinking here, but it might be a strategy that we'll see later on, and maybe this is all in their big scheme of things that Paragon want to do.
It does seem like Paragon has decided to go for a turtle kind of hold, as I think all of them are on site or are close roaming to site. But obviously that Hibana is getting all the hatches open, quite rushed with the Ash in there. Uncontested, but they managed to get it done. And not too much, nothing dealt from the hatches being open. But now they are going back for that blue push. The smoke giving up elbow and reinforcing the elbow rotate, sorry, and then the bandit is bandaging off to give a bit more of a denial, and Zoff watching that flank on tower stairs.
1 minute and 15 seconds remain now as the attackers have gotten full control of blue and they're going to slowly make their way onto site. Definitely a better round from PG Tips than we see them have the first time around, attacking downstairs and the laundry site. Dilly, meanwhile, still playing next close to pillar. Could be a big thorn in the side of PG Tips. Can he get 1, maybe 2 kills here? We're going to see how this is all going to play out very, very soon. Kaz gets the first gun to wrap, and that's the opening kill yet again for Paragon. Bailey does tank some damage, but nothing too major. As for the time is slowly ticking down. All four players of them are stacked up in the pillar area, and now running into E-box, and that's a diffuser down in E-box. And Instinct on the Hibana is going to get down, and the diffuser with that as well. And the smoke knows that, and Paragon knows that. It's now the smoke grenades and smoke cannons that are going to come out. And it's a 3v5 situation, a situation in which PG Tips are in a very big disadvantage. Dilly swings for 1, Cass swings for another one, and it's all Tex yet again. And Taps finds the head of Tex. And that's yet again another flawless round from Paragon. 3 flawless rounds of the 4 that they have won so far. They are on a tear, and this could be over very, very quickly if it continues this way. But it's 4-1 now, and there is that one offsite that PG Tips got to win, and that was Kitchen. So we'll see if they can do that yet again to put us in that 4-2 split that we all love to see.
Yeah, that was an incredible play by the side of Paragon, as they did start realizing where the push was coming from, like the end execution, where they were all bunched up again. First time it was in blue bunker, now is on pillar and kill box. But they abandoned backside, leaving laundry, barricading it off, and then just going for those kills onto the players that were all stacked up. Which I'm not too sure why PG Tips decided that they were all going to push together. They did get a few. like a lot of damage was dealt, but no one being able to find the kill. And it was another flawless round for the side of Paragon, which they must be really happy with themselves, being able to win both the sites that are main, and now hopefully being able to get 5-1. And they must have realized what went wrong when they first played this site, how they're going to make it better, and I'm sure PG Tips just want to replicate what we saw a few rounds before. And Kaz getting a bit of damage before prep phase is even over again. Not too sure who it was done by this time, but I think there's a bit of infighting going on, a bit of
Yeah.
bullying Kaz on the Malusi.
I don't know. Is this be a sign of Kaz being dropped later on this season? Well, I hope not for him. He's doing really well. He's got 4 kills, very influential kills as well, especially especially in round number 3. So, excuse me, not round number 3, round number 2. Excuse me. But the attackers are now taking full control of the top of Small Tower, and as half a minute has gone, we see quite a lot of map control for that time span, but no one is really attacking the main building just yet. No attacker has really been putting pressure onto that. Sparkin's going to be the first one. Nope, he's also pushing the side of Small Tower. Really just to see if Dilly taps those 2 players, those 2 roamers that are playing in kids' dorms, and that area are going to be able to see or even meet any of the attackers. They keep on this tempo of just attacking Small Tower. I do not think that they're going to be able to break Paragon like this, but it's very early on in the round, so maybe there's something that they're setting up that I don't know and or don't see. Only time will tell, I think.
I'm sure Paragon will be a bit more aware of these small tower pushes. That is what happened last time, as well as the player just playing outside the windows, which we do have again. We have the Ashen Nomad just watching the shower corridor window, and the Maestro is having to back out again like we saw last time, but giving up a bit of shower's control. So I think it's working so far with them. They're getting a bit of map control. They have small tower control, and they are watching out the windows for the jump outs. But still, no damage dealt, no players taken off the board yet. And they still have quite a lot of utility left, so I'm interested to see how they will be executing this.
Well, 1 minute remain, and we're going to see that really, really quickly here, how they're going to execute this site. Paragon have turtled back on the side, except for the Jaeger of Taps that is still upstairs playing in dorms, but Dilly has fallen back onto site. 50 seconds now as the time is slowly ticking down, and the attackers haven't really moved a lot, haven't really gained much map control in the last 30 to 45 seconds. Frenzy is going to pre-fire some walls, trying to get some lucky kills or some lucky damage, but none's going to be further from true. Bailey is still playing on 90 as he is going to be a thorn on the side of the attackers. He's going to get smoked out just a little bit, but Rep's going to find onto Millo, and that's going to start off the killing. The first time in a long time that PG Tips get the first opening kill, and Rep's going to follow it up with another one on the Dilly. Now it's a 3v5 situation. Bailey's looking the wrong way, and that's going to be a free kill for Frenzy, and Tex follows it up with one onto Kaz. 4-2 split, here we come, as it's now just Taps in a 1v5 situation. The timer on his side.
Diffuser not even planted with the end in the round with the nice kill.
Well,
not too
another
much
flawless round yet again.
It was a flawless round for the other team, I believe, this time.
Yeah, it's the map of flawless rounds.
Flawless round. Yeah, and even if he managed to get a few down on side, the Nomad would have seen from the kids' hatch. It was a good try, but obviously a flawless round on our flawless map. It seems, as we have had, I believe, three or four flawless rounds on each side so far. I'm sure PG Tips, now going on to the defense, are hoping to replicate some of Paragon's magic on the top 2 sites.
Well, so we are going to see PG Tips' first defense, and they're going to choose, just like Paragon did, kids' dorms. We're going to see if their attack or their defense is going to differ any way from Paragon. And the first thing that's catching my eye is the castle. It's going to barricade the game's window. It's going to see what else is going to barricade. Is he making a rotate in attic? Or, excuse me, in closet?
Games. Yeah, he's made a games rotate, which could be good if he tries to get the master walk-ins, like if they come in through that door. I believe he could be playing it similar to how a smoke would play on elbow. Waste a bit of time, deal a little bit of damage, maybe get a pick, and then back off and reinforce. I'm not too sure if they will have any reinforcements left, as I'm not too sure what else they're reinforcing. I'm quite surprised that the castle hasn't actually used his castle barricades on double window, as it is always
Yeah,
somewhere that is quite
indeed.
perilous for an
Yeah.
attacker.
Taps with a very quick repel into Armory as half the minute of the round has now passed. Very quick map control. He's going to know that the mute jammer just got placed down there. He's going to hear that. He knows that the mute's going to be inside of master bedroom, and that might be something he's going to need to be wary about. What they're going to be working toward is probably breaching the breach that is where Instinct. Oh, that's where you would expect a normal reinforcement to be, and that's what he exactly does. As Winter, you've correctly predicted that he's going to just fall back and reinforce the wall very, very early on compared to what you do in elbow, but I guess the pressure here also mounts up a lot quicker than it would do on elbow. So I guess that's another 20 seconds wasted on the round. Well played by Instinct. We're going to see how that's going to affect Paragon and the rest of their attack, as Milo is just going to breach the wall that Instinct just reinforced.
Yeah, so definitely, I would have liked to see him Instinct maybe get a little bit of pick from his hold into walk-in, but unfortunately not. But he did get the reinforcement up without getting any damage or getting his head taken off. But Bailey does seem to be in a stalemate gunfight with Tech, I believe, just walking away from it, not looking to get into any long-range gunfights. As I believe he does have the hollow and obviously Bailey with the scope. We do seem to have a gained control and possibly armory at this point, as all the players have backed off into Dorms, Kids, and possibly Attic. I'm not too sure where the last few players are. Yeah. Oh no, they actually have Attic control with the flank from the Malusi getting shut down by Taps. So now and another kill coming down from Bailey onto Sparkins. And could this be another flawless round, as we are in a 5v3, 40 seconds-ish on the clock. And the plant is going down. Tech is getting some damage taken. And as Instinct does taps, Instinct does get traded out immediately by Bailey, and Dilly is taking on Rep. Diffuser is planted. We are in a post-plant situation, and not anymore, as Kaz does get the last kill onto Tech, which was a very nice shot from Big Window, which is something that you always have to be wary of when playing top site, is obviously the amount of angles and just peaks you can get from that window is just nasty, especially when you have people in front of you and behind you. There's too much things to be worrying about. So I believe a castle could have made that a little bit easier for the defenders, but it was sadly not another flawless round for this game. But
No, indeed.
yeah.
But yeah, no. Paragon, though, doing what PG Tips couldn't do and winning a top floor attack. Very, very convincing attackers win yet again. When they do win their rounds, it seems to be a very convincing fashion. It always ended up in like a 1vx situation. It seems to usually be Tex stuck in that unfortunate situation. Tex must be feeling really, really unhappy right now. He always gets put in that 1vx situation at the end, and then his team is four like sets of eyes are looking at him going, well, we can do it. Can you clutch it for us? And, well, usually the answer is no, because the chance of you winning a 1v5 or 1v4 is very, very small.
Especially with not much time on the clock, as we do see the late round executions being used quite a lot by both teams. But yeah, Rep does get a little bit of damage. It seems like they're following the suit of Paragon of dealing their teammates a little bit of damage before prep phase is over. Hopefully it's not going to affect them too much. But yeah, what are the teams doing? They seem to be hurting their own teammates.
I don't know, but well, Paragon did win a lot of rounds when they damage their teammates, so maybe it's something that they want to do as well. maybe it's a good luck. It's a good luck send off. Maybe it's like, oh, you're gonna go roam, well, here, take a bullet to the knee, and then good luck.
We do have two C4s on the side of PD Tips, possibly for a post plan, or I see them only playing below, maybe going for a like throwing on the roof and blowing someone's poor feet off. But it does seem like they are doing a small tower push and a bedroom push. do have 2 roamers downstairs over the fact that they are in small tower.
Well, if you do look here, that Kaz gets the first kill into Tex, and that's the opening kill for Paragon yet again. Every single time this has happened, this has resulted in them winning a round. So, Kaz, oh my god, what a flick!
Yeah, that was a lovely flick from Kaz onto Instinct, who he was away on Laundry Stays.
Ooh,
That was
Frenzy finding one of
nasty
his
flick,
own,
but he
though,
does
onto
get traded
Kaz.
out. Yeah. But he's
Yeah,
done
go
his
ahead.
job. He's entry fried. He's gotten 2 off the board. And Dilly gets another kill onto the smoke. But does get traded out by the Mozzie, who is bottom floor, rotated back to site. I'm not too sure whether Lucy is off. So it is a 2v1 on site at the moment. And that C4 kill, as I said, C4 kills coming into clutch for the side of PG Tips at the moment. With 1 down, it is in a 2v1 situation. I'm not too sure if they are aware of the down player in Laundry. But Taps doesn't seem to be able to get anywhere near to res him. So it is a 2v1. Taps is left on his own. Can this be another round of Paragon? It might.
Oh!
And it is! And there's a double kill for Taps to end the round, and his teammate does not bleed out from the time.
What a flick coming in from the Ash there at the end with quite the shot. He knew where the last player was, and the Mozzie missed his shot there at the end. He just could not finish that, could not get that kill onto the pixel. That was the Ash behind the bomb. So that, I think that ultimately cost them the round, because the Ash was not aware, the Ash of Taps was not aware that the Mozzie was playing in elbow. So I think him missing his shots gave away his location, and he knew that the Melusia is playing in Freezer, because the Capitao Bailey went down from that location, and finding a second, ended up in Paragon on match point. For almost there, we're on match point.
The trigger discipline. The trigger discipline of the Mozzie was just not up to standard, as he did try and get those shots, unfortunately missed, and then shared his location, which was quite unfortunate. But we are seeing a mirror being played, which we were looking forward to, but for bottom floor, but it's actually getting brought in for kitchen dining. What do you think of the mirror setup? We got one on the rotate, I think is a crouch mirror actually. On the
is that, yeah, interesting. Huh, I've never seen a mirror played there before. I have seen a mirror played in bathroom before, though. Bathroom is a very, very strong place to hold, a very strong position for a defense to hold, and definitely one you want to hold, because it's almost an extension of the dining space, right? You want to hold that, or else it's just the attacker's just gonna walk onto site, breach that wall that you really can't deny, and it's all over at that point. So this mirror window is definitely gonna help. If it is gonna be Tex gonna be playing in bathroom, he's gonna stay there and play there. I think that mirror window is gonna come to great help. And honestly, just interested to see how the attackers are going to work with that. But with that being said, they do have an ace and no real breach denial from the side of PG Tips. The only thing I can think of is the Maestro Cam that would be in side of small tower that could possibly zap away the ace charge being placed into the mirror window. So if that mirror window stays there, and if the Maestro Cam is not there, it's going to be taken care of very, very easily by Paragon. So I don't know. It could work both ways.
I don't think the mirror windows are going to matter too much, as they are seeming to do a top floor take and an attic push down through the kitchen, maybe, as we don't see that much presence over the small tower side, which was where PG Tips mainly based their attack. And obviously they did win those rounds very nicely. But we do have a player at top white. We have a Rep as a mirror top white, hopefully trying to get some deny the vertical plays. And now hopefully they have realized that the attackers are trying to take back site. As the double kill on the side of Paragon, with Bailey taking out Rep and Tap taking out Frenzy, and that is their top control gone. Attackers have control over top floor. Could this be another flawless round to end the match? It is in a 5v3. Some damage getting dealt to the Maestro by the Maverick with his grenades, but a little bit being taken back, but not too much. I think they've given up on the top floor take and now rotated back into Big Tower.
1 minute remain, and Paragon with the heavily advantage in the manpower side of things, as they're gonna slowly make their way onto site. Sparkins, Instinct, and Tex are all that stands between Paragon and their dreams. As Sparkins loses a lot of his HP, PG Tips need to win these rounds. It's getting first, slipping out of their hands as Instinct falls first, and we're gonna see here Sparkins getting down, and it's Tex yet again in the 1vx. And yes, you said, a flawless round to end the series. And Paragon with a 2-0 series sweep and a 7-2 map sweep are going to clean things up quickly here. And they're going to see Paragon going through into the upper bracket and PG Tips going to the lower bracket, but nothing is lost for both teams. We're going to be looking into the bracket now, and as actually, before we do that, do you want to talk about the last round for a bit? What is your analysis of the last round?
That last round, it was the top control. The 2 kills coming out on the side of Paragon to get that top control of PG Tips, and then the Maestro coming up to try and retake a bit of that control, but being instantly shut down by that player in Cade. It was just an unfortunate round for them. I don't think they held top floor as strongly as they could have, and then the Maestro rotating up could have been a bit of an issue where he could have just played closer to site, because he could have played in a more safe position, maybe in bathroom to hold the drop. I don't know if they had the mirror open yet, but there was definitely a lot of things that could have gone differently on both sides. But Paragon, with I think it was four flawless rounds throughout the entire game, just completely owned Oregon. I think the only 2 sites they lost was when they were defending kitchen dining. So they won all their attacks that happened, and it's just they just outplayed PG Tips this time. But like you said, nothing being lost, as they could meet again if Paragon win their winners bracket and PG Tips win their losers bracket. So possibly a rematch going down in the near future, but that's down to.
We're going to have to see. PG Tips need to change a lot of things indeed if they are going to go into a rematch. They lost the series 2-0, but what we do know is that TLR, the stars of Wednesday's amazing show, and with that Tuesday's amazing game, TLR have been going on a roll in the last couple of play days. So they're going to be facing Paragon in the next game. That's going to be tomorrow on Friday, 7:30 CET. And on Saturday, AYB Esports is going to be facing the losers of today's game, and that's going to be PG Tips. And we'll see if PG Tips are going to be able to win that. If they don't win that, that's going to be them out of the bracket and them being eliminated. But both teams still have a very bright future ahead, and they still have a chance to either redeem themselves or show what they're made of in the next couple of games. And that's about it. Do you have anything else you want to say, Winter?
That last round in Oregon, it was clearly a 2-man team, and I do feel sorry for Tech on the side of PG Tips, who's always left in that 1v8 situation. There was never much he could do. It was either in a 1v4 or 1v5, and it just didn't go their way. PG Tips on Oregon, they did have a bit more of a fight in them for Cathay, but it just didn't go their way. So there's a lot of stuff both teams can work on, but PG Tips will be kicking themselves for that 7-2 loss.
That indeed. And I think with that, it's going to be the end of this broadcast, as I'm going to be logging off together with Winter. Winter's been a pleasure casting with you. Hope to see you here more often. I think I'll see you here more often. I hope so, at least.
I hope so too.
Else you want to say? You have anything else you want to say before we go?
No, I don't think. I just think both teams played good. It's just one clearly just had a good day, and
okay,
yeah.
Well, thank you very much for watching. Tune in tomorrow for Paragon versus TLR. It's going to be a barn burner of a match, so be there. And it's going to be casted by, let me just check our roster real quick, the amazing duo that is going to be Stikula and Whippet, and CCV on the desk. Grizzlem's going to be producing and Dan is going to be observing. Stay tuned for that tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. CET. And that's it for today. My name has been Yannick. I've been casting with Winter, and I hope to see you guys next time.
Bye.